So, at the request of Sergio Flores, I am doing this video. And I have to do it for myself as well because this is ridiculous. I mean, this guy, Jordan Myles, I don't even know who this is. I'm pretty sure that most people, before this story broke, didn't even know who this guy was. I think it's pretty safe to say, and if you're one of those people saying he's a big star and all that, you're lying. You're simply lying. Now, I saw something about this last night, about some controversy with Jordan Myles, but, I went to sleep, and, I wake up, and then I see a What Culture video, and I'm like, well, if What Culture is talking about this, then obviously it's something, that needs to be addressed, and they're going to be crying over something because, lo and behold, it has to do with racism. So if it has to do with something like that, and it's What Culture, you gotta pretty much, it's a safe bet. It's a fair wager that they are going to probably be siding with the party that is not management, that is not the WWE. Because that's how What Culture works. That's how a lot of these, people on YouTube in the YWC and the IWC act. JD included, many others. And I am always a critic of WWE, obviously. But when it doesn't call for criticism, see, to be fair and balanced and have an honest opinion here on YouTube, when you need to defend the company, because there's going to be times when the company is right and the employee is wrong sometimes. Because, sometimes they break the rules. They know that the company has a lot of money. Some people could be looking for a lawsuit. There's a lot of different things that go on, not just in wrestling, but society in general. And you know that. But if you're going to be one of these, one-sided Sallys, and you're just going to be, anti-big corporation without, any way or any, deviation in your mind from that one tunnel vision mindset, then that's not fair and balanced. And you're not being honest, with yourself or with anyone else for that matter. So this guy, Jason Myles, this NXT superstar, is claiming that a shirt is racist. Now, of course, if the shirt was truly racist, I can see why that might be a thing. But to further elaborate, me just using words is not enough. We have to delve deeper. We have to address the topic at hand. We have to, show examples. And that's what we do here on this channel, right? Once I got a better computer, that was. So, now we're going to take a look here. And thank you, Wrestling Inc. I'm going to be showing some of your content here. So, Jordan Myles, blast WWE and ROH, says WWE doesn't care about black people. Okay, so I don't know if this guy's worked for ROH. I don't think that he has. But, you work for the WWE now. You're in their developmental territory. You work for them. You are WWE, so it doesn't matter what ROH does, but you're going to go against ROH anyway. Anyway, let's see what I could show you guys. So, let's go down to the shirt first. So, this is the shirt that's in question here. Now, I know most people would probably want me to say that, this looks extremely racist and horrible, but it honestly does not. And Sergio Flores showed me like an example online of a van symbol that had the same red background with the white lettering and the black shirt. And many people were saying that they don't see it, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I saw it. At first I was looking at it, I was like, it just looks like one of the worst shirts they've ever released. And then I kind of really thought about it, and I was like, hold on a second here. Let's take a closer look at it. If I were like, a member of the What Culture staff, if I were someone, who got offended by everything, if I was injected with nearly lethal amounts of soy, then I would probably, be able to see what it is. And I did. And, and I saw what it was. It's a black shirt, with red. What's red? Lips. And that's what people are looking at. And I don't really need to say more. I'm not going to say more because I'm not going to get in trouble here, But, needless to say, this guy is losing his mind. Jordan Myles is losing his mind over this. And you can see what he's saying right here. I will keep posting this till my voice is heard. I'm not sorry for anything I say or do. Well, that's, that attitude right there. Representation is important. If this is Vince McMahon and Triple H's vision of me, then this is a slap in the face to every African-American performer, fan, and supporter. And I'm sorry, but I am not buying this for several reasons. And let's see if I can find it here. There was an email where Jordan says, "Don't believe me, email him and ask him yourself." So see, right here we've got Landon Baker at the WWE Corporation. "Hey Albert, Triple H attended a meeting and had a revision for your logo, but loved it for your character. He wanted to the letter to be more teethy, and what I have attached is what he liked. Also have basic t-shirts on there that he approved as well. Road Dogg preferred the gray, but let us know what you think. Thanks, Baker." There's something very weird about this email. And I'm not just saying that because I don't want to believe the guy and because I want to believe an opposing narrative. It's not. But I don't know, even what I was just reading there, he wanted to the letter. See, there's a typo there. And, if this is written by an exec, okay, sometimes things like that slip through the cracks. But I don't know. There's something there. And to say that it's teethy, and this email right here, so he knew what it was going to look like after the redesign. And it's September 11th. This is almost like a month and a half ago. So why did we not hear him, why didn't he post this then on Twitter? What was stopping him from the final design? Or also, what is your email response? Why don't you show us the whole conversation? You know what I'm saying? People are probably going to read this, and I saw on Facebook, people are like, "Oh, this is the smoking gun. This is the one." This is the one piece of evidence that Jordan Myles means, to really bring this story to the forefront. And I say right here, by him posting this and nothing else, this shows that the guy is lying probably more than if he posted nothing. Because right here, the date says it all. If he was smart, he would have cut this off. But because then people probably wouldn't have even thought about the date. But when I'm seeing the date, I'm thinking about that. Well, this is from a while ago. What has transpired in the whole entire month and a half that you've known about this shirt design. And I'm saying, and even looking at the shirt design, I am pretty sure that it's coincidental. And like I said, and plus, it is a stretch. It is definitely a stretch. I mean, let's take a look at it again. It's, when you look at it, it doesn't even really look like lips, really. You really have to be thinking about it. And that's what I'm saying. I saw the shirt, and I was like, okay, what? What does it look like? Because What Culture shows the shirt right in their video, and I'm like, okay, what could it possibly be? And that's what I'm saying. Don't mean to toot my own horn, but I think I'm pretty good because I've seen so many of these stories over the years of how people think. So, you know what I'm saying? If I really had to go out there, and think like a total, Cucamonga, then that is probably where I would arrive. When you let your mind wander, that's what happens. So look at Jordan Myles. Now, I know I said that this guy is losing his mind, but that is an understatement. Look how this guy he's on a tirade here. Look what else he says. He goes, FROH2, the only allowed, he means they, the only allowed one African American guy to be the top guy, while guys like Cedric Alexander and Malcolm Velli and myself had to chase this invisible carrot, a stick. See, that's why I'm wondering, did he somehow doctor that email? Because look how many typos he's making. Name another African American who has reached great heights there other than this Uncle Tom. And what does that say about Jay Lethal? First of all, does he even know Jay Lethal? Look what he's saying about him. Look at that. The horrible name he just called this guy. I mean, I hope he at least knows him. Maybe that makes it even worse. But I mean, why do they have to have dozens and dozens of African American champions to prove a point? And plus, your credibility of seeing you just go absolutely crazy about a t-shirt. And look at this. Then he goes, protest by turning your photos black and white on Twitter. He's starting a movement. And what is this guy showing here? I gotta take a look at this. Did we win? Search results for Jordan Myles. I don't know if the shirt's still on there. I mean, let's take a look. Let's see. Is the shirt still on there? We're about to find out. Jordan Myles. Yeah, I guess the shirt's not on there, so I guess that they did win. So I don't even know what is now, my brother. What was this? Well, how didn't they win if it's not even on there? I don't even understand that. So they did take it down because, of course, WWE doesn't want to catch the flack. And I've used this shirt as fuel. I knew the shirt existed, and my soul hasn't been able to rest properly since I've laid eyes on it. My voice will be heard. So what is this? David Bixon wrote, so I missed this a month ago, but from a little quick research, they released and then will replace the problematic design last month. Did you not know about this until now? This is also, this is basically what I'm saying. How did he not know about this when he's showing that he was sent an email about it and he already saw the design and he's only crying about it now? And look at these other tweets here. The whole WWE system is fraud. They created this system where you can't trust anyone. You grow cold and you grow apart from what you love the most. The fact that Hulk Hogan is still employed after giving the locker room an apology for being caught says enough for the culture. Oh my God, this guy is losing his ever-loving mind. When I originally saw the design, I was uncomfortable. Rather than addressing the issue, I decided to counter offer with another. Baker Landon lied to my face. He said Triple H wanted this design, so my hands were tied. I spoke with Triple H in person, and his impression was I approve. So, is it true? Go Myles approved the t-shirt he objects to. Any response from Myles on this new info? So, it's like... See, and Myles like also deleted it. Like, okay, so we've seen just about everything here, and with that said, we need to come full circle here for a moment because wow, like we've just seen a guy just forget about the Becky Lynch video from before. I mean, go watch it if you haven't already, but that is small potatoes compared to this. I mean, I don't even know who this guy is, but he is just a complete whack job. I mean, this is the company you work for, and I understand, if you don't like your shirt, but let's put this in the context here. You were alerted about the shirt. If you're that outspoken, like you're showing here on Twitter, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have released the shirt. I'm just saying, if you weren't for it, they probably wouldn't have released the shirt. It's not like they're really going to make a lot of money off of you anyway, because you're not really anybody. You're not, Tommaso Ciampa. You're not Johnny Gargano. You're not like any of these big names in NXT. So I don't really think it would have been a big deal, especially if you had some other ideas. And like, you think of the t-shirts that Triple H has like had himself that he probably approved, for himself, and they were like, there's some great t-shirts. So I don't really see that like such a basic design would be, if he had a better idea, I'm pretty sure they would have dropped that one for something different. So like, what did the original logo look like? But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that if this guy was so outspoken, he probably would have gotten his way, because they've removed the shirt. So obviously, they were probably going to be willing to listen to him. Now, you could also counter that argument and say, well, they probably didn't know that it was going to blow up like this on Twitter, so now he kind of didn't even give them a choice, because this is extremely bad PR when you start, going on a tirade on social media. You get it, you're exposing them, for something that they're really not. You're trying to make a story out of this, and he knows what he's doing. Because Jordan Myles knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that this is a very volatile time in society and on the internet, and that, the minute you start with that word and you start using this terminology, it starts getting people's attention. And a lot of people like to cling to this stuff, and, they take it to heart. And he knows there's a lot of people in the, the triggered culture and in the SJW culture that are really going to cling to this. They're going to retweet it. They're going to repost it on other social media platforms. They're going to talk about it in YouTube videos. And then you've got people like what culture? The wrestling fans, the ones that the product is currently catering to. They are going to make this more than what it is, because this is what they do. And they want to paint Vince McMahon as being some horrible, racist person. And they've done this numerous times. They've tried to use the example for Booker T. Never mind the fact that he's paid these people a lot of money, giving them a tremendous amount of TV time, and made a lot of these guys look very strong. But because, there weren't enough champions and no one had won the WWE championship, and because The Rock wasn't fully African American, that wasn't enough for the hardcore fan base. So Kofi Kingston was given the title, and they kept the title on him a while, despite the ratings falling. So this was Vince McMahon's decision. So he obviously, wanted to show the fans that he wasn't this way. And he would go so far as sacrificing his own TV show to prove that point. So you think he's going to turn around all those months later and do this? And if that's the intention, I'm sorry, this would have been a little bit too obvious if that's what they were going for. And like I said, it is such a stretch. It's such a stretch. And this guy, this guy is acting like a fool. He needs to shut up. Obviously, he probably realized, he probably was getting a lot of backlash from that tweet on Jay Lethal, I could imagine. But, God, I think out of everything that he tweeted, what he said about Jay Lethal was oh my God, wow. Once you start dipping into that, dark terminology right there, and that right there was pretty dark, what he said. And, you instantly, any credibility on any sort of movement that he had, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of goofballs turning their pictures black and white, and, they're going to have, pitchforks and torches at Vince McMahon's doorstep, figuratively, but, what he said about Lethal, that is just, wow. Oh, God. But, guys, you make your own judgment calls. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm just here to share my opinion on it. And I think it's BS. I think this is complete garbage. I think this is trash. I think that Jordan Myles is trying to accuse Vince McMahon, Triple H of being garbage human beings. May I counter that point by saying that one Jordan Myles is the horrible individual. Because it's so funny that he's trying to do the victimized, oh poor me routine. And it's quite apparent that this guy went a little bit too far with it. He felt, he kept on tweeting. He kept on tweeting to the point where it got to the point where he showed his true side. That it's so obvious what he's trying to do. That he's not a good person. He is trying to make something that wasn't there to begin with into something. And he's turning it into an opportunity. Probably because he knows that in this oversaturated, wrestling world where there's, Dynamite, there's NXT, there's Raw, there's SmackDown, there's NWA Power, that there's so many different wrestlers going all different ways, and he's going to get lost in the shuffle. A guy like Jordan Myles would be, one of the first people to get lost in the shuffle compared to, everyone else that's in NXT and everyone else on the roster. There's no way a guy like that would make it onto the main roster. And this guy's, he kind of led himself into a mental breakdown, it seems. And, I'm also hearing that WWE is contemplating, I heard a rumor that they're contemplating on releasing him. And I know if they release him, it is going to cause an even bigger scene. But I say that they do it. They should show a no-tolerance policy to this. I will be happy if they do release him, because after actions like this, I just don't see it. He's talking really bad about the employer that's giving him this opportunity. I know people are going to say, well, he shouldn't keep his mouth shut because that's how things like this happen. But there's nothing there. So that's what people need to understand. And WWE needs to put their foot down, and they have to stop this, oh, well, there's a possibility that this might happen. For a company that used to create so much controversy and water cooler talk, if they keep this guy on the payroll, I think that philosophy that they had during the Attitude and the Ruthless Aggression era, I think is forever gone. I still think it is forever gone, but it's even further gone if they keep this guy in place just so they don't look bad. God forbid if they give the guy a title or bring him onto the main roster. Imagine if they bring him on the main roster just to bury him. I don't know. I just think it would be a wise move to cut ties with this guy. You know, whatever they need to do. Anyway, this is like the most insane thing that I've seen. Coming from a WWE talent in quite some time. I mean, we're talking about cringy tweets and stuff like that to JR. I mean, this guy is like saying certain things that are just abominable, to say the least. They're volatile. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that the shirt, holds those types of connotations? Do you think that Jordan Myles has a valid claim here? Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.